Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Drive Career with Alfa Romeo, episode number 86 today for the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 6, round number 7. If you missed the previous video at Silverstone, very controversial race uploaded yesterday, I recommend you go and check that out. And of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. See plenty more F1 Driver Career Mode episodes. But yes, we're going to finally purchase this rear diffuser ultimate rear downforce upgrade. It's unfortunately not going to come in time for either the Belgian or Italian Grand Prix, so that'll be coming in for next week's video at Japan. But obviously the most of this is gearing up anyway for the 100% race, the finale at Brazil. So yes. Good news is though that the front downforce one is through, so that's going to help us a little bit with the cornering in the middle sector, but it doesn't matter anyway because the rain, what is that weather forecast? I mean, are they using the BBC, the umbrella hat scenario? There's also net regulations as well, which doesn't really matter for us because this is the final season, so I believe they actually changing pretty much everything except durability, because Ferrari still haven't caught up, and to be fair, Ferrari need taking down a peg, as you can see there briefly on the R&D screen. Not a lot changed really. I mean, we're still in the set penultimate place, but we are catching up hopefully by the time this next upgrade comes in. So Monday hopefully we will have a competitive car in the midfield, and hopefully Russell will be able to waken up as opposed to being dreadful. But anyway, moving to our lap in qualifying, you can see here business as usual in qualifying, absolutely dreadful for myself, and we're down in P17 behind both Williams, who are now the 5th fastest car on the grid, so they should really be doing better than 15th and 16th on the grid. As well, we've got Guan Yu Zhou as well struggling in the Aston Martin livery racing point. He's only gone up to 17th place, as well as we riding through more, gaining time all the time, of course, 1/10 up on Kvyat's time, so not really that great. We needed to be a little bit more than that, especially coming out of that, but at the final sector I do gain time on the AI, so we'll see we can gain there. We're up to 3/10 now as we approach the bus stop. Series of corners, easy left, easy right, not too much on the curb, out the final corner, straighten up to the right hand side to the line, almost 5/10 up there, so I made a lot of time up at the bus stop, and it's only enough though for P15. Well, that's usual, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, we are close to Russell, Leclerc on pole, Vettel only down in P7. I mean, his championship fight's already over. Pretty much Gasly needs to win the race and Leclerc needs to DNF really in the next couple of races so they can have a round, otherwise Leclerc's just walking away. So yes, I'll take that. Only a 10th behind Russell. He has been Mr. Saturday in this series, but we'll see what we can do from 15th on the grid alongside our teammate. It's time for the race.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula 1 World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019 Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. We should talk about Alfa Romeo. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position with Pierre Gasly alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ocon, Bottas, Alexander Albon and Vettel, Norris, Magnussen, Verstappen, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Stroll, Sainz, George Russell, and an Alfa Romeo, Latifi, Kvyat, and Guan Yu Zhou, and Nobuharu Matsushita, De Vries, and Luca Giotto. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Alright, we'll see about that. I mean, we've got starting on dries, going to inters, having another dry spell before inters and eventually wets. Well, the weather, I don't know what's going to happen with it. We'll see what happens. Fight for lights come on then for the Belgian Grand Prix. 11 laps away we go. And it's an okay start. We get pinched by Russell. We tried move to the inside for the better to dive bomb everybody down the inside. And, well, there's a front wing that's flown over me. I don't think that was contact with us. But anyway, as Lando Norris is now behind us, we're going to ride on board with Norris actually coming down the hill towards the Rouge, and Norris has lost it. Wow. Okay, so Lando Norris has put it in the wall, and the game decided to bring out the safety car. So safety car came in at the end of lap 3, and you can see it's starting to rain. But it's not time for inters apparently. I did ask on the way in, was it time for inters? Apparently it's not. And then of course Jeff started recommending stupid strategy options, pitting on lap 10 for inters. So yes, but you can see there Vettel not able to get ahead of us. He's moved up only one position. We're up into P7, by the way, as you mentioned, from our original P15. So we actually had a good start, getting ahead of a load of cars who are coming in at the end of lap 4. A couple of people staying out, including George Russell, so they're going to lose a load of time as the tyres. It's really now, you can see it's getting wetter out there. So we're going to come in. We'll see what this time is for Alfa Romeo. 2.7. That's the best time that they've managed so far. We're out ahead of Ocon. I think we've jumped a couple. We may have jumped a couple of people. We'll see. I think Vettel carried on as well. But you can see here Leclerc all over the back of Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin car, who's stuck behind both Norris and De Vries, and Leclerc can't get through. He's at the fastest final sector as well, not really improving all the time. There's Vettel, and Vettel's had a poor exit out of the pit lane, slower exit, and we're now up into P5. But Vettel, of course, is in the fastest car. He's going to have a look up the inside into Pouon, and no is the answer. Vettel, we close the door really on Vettel. This will give you a replay of on the outboard shot, because Vettel tries to pull alongside, coming to Pouon. We take a wider exit, pinch Vettel into the curving, which unsettles his car, and this also then allows Esteban Ocon to come back at Vettel on the back straight towards the bus stop. You see how many cars are just lining up behind us all as well. There's a Red Bull there. I think that's Verstappen, and Ocon does get ahead of Vettel as we're watching Lando Norris catch. Well, he's still behind De Vries, and unfortunately for Lando Norris, he's going to cause another safety car. So I don't think I've ever seen an AI call 2 safety cars out in the same race. But anyway, he's now out with an engine failure. Eventually the safety car is going to come out, but everybody's decided that on lap 8 it's dry enough, apart from I think there's a couple of cars that are staying out, including, by the looks of that, Carlos Sainz. So Mercedes, since Sainz has been with them in the past couple of seasons, they've really not had that great managing the performance. We're going to 2.8 second stop again. That's a lot better than what they've done. We're now right at the backside of Albon, so I think we're going to jump ahead of Sainz, which is a shame because he was pushing for a podium. Safety car comes in then on the end of lap number 9. You can already see though, is it going to start raining again? We'll have to wait and see. Not just yet though on screen, so Those cars that didn't come in the previous lap, on the other lap 9 they came in, so they are now at the back getting no points. Verstappen as well was another one, so we're going to jump up into P5. We've got Ocon and Kvyat, two of our people that we've been racing pretty much all season so far at times, or two cars have been racing, the Renault and the Williams, so far, and they're right behind us, although Vettel does come back at Kvyat, picks up into 7th. Ocon has a go around the outside at the end of the Kemmel Straight on the final lap, but unable really to make a move there. And we jump to the final stretch. Then you can see on the screen spots of rain. So the rain has decided to come back again, which is just so typical of the weather forecast, obviously done by the BBC. Very British weather here at Belgium, but nevertheless, we've managed to be calm and control our race, do our own race, and that result is not making any mistakes, has actually managed to get us a pretty decent P5. More points on the board. Russell unlucky, only 3/10 off getting his first points at the season, so hopefully Russell will be able to improve, but he did lose out to the likes of Giotto, Kvyat and Guan Yu Zhou, who all three of those cars I think he could have probably beaten, because Kyoto's been terrible all season really. As well, Leclerc then wins from Gasly. That because Gasly finished in 2nd place, Leclerc is not world champion, but I believe he can wrap it up in Italy in front of the Tifosi, which would be a madness considering how dominant he's been as well. And then obviously there were a whole load of cars. Giovinazzi did the 3 stop. I'm not really sure what happened to him today. Bear in mind he had a good, okay qualifying position. But didn't talk about Esteban Ocon's qualifying position. He missed out big time.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. He made it look easy.
Come on, Claire, what's your question?
How do you think this team will be feeling after that result?
They finished 13th and 14th. It's irrelevant. They would have been lower down had the other drivers not bottled it.
How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
I think we came out on top. Leclerc controlled his race, came out on top. Gasly did the best he could do with that AlphaTauri really. So the top drivers really came out on top, and then likes of Vettel, Verstappen really lost out there. Verstappen not really the driver that we know in real life in this series. Having since won the World Championship, he's just been bottling it ever since. But anyway, we've got some more aerodynamics. HQ coming in, so that's hopefully going to help. We've got the final upgrade on that. Well, that ultimate upgrade. Also put an ERS upgrade on as well. I'm just again trying to finalise upgrades, because obviously, yes, it doesn't matter in a 25% race. We don't use much ERS, we don't use much tyre wear. But remember, Brazil is a 100% race as it stands, which hopefully we get to record this weekend. And therefore, it's important that we have these upgrades just to be safe and make sure we can actually have a proper decent race with that. Leclerc though, 4 wins out of the 7 so far, so he's really been dominating so far. Vettel disappointing as well. Gasly has been the main, really consistently up there, apart from at Monaco where he really bottled it. And then Paul George, he's getting closer, but it's not enough. Will he get points? If we have a competitive car by the time we get to Brazil, I do hope that we get to see him score some points, because his AI isn't quite there in terms of performance really. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, ask next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.